So, to-dos are made for two personas. There is an office admin who needs to create all the to-dos, and there is a field tech who is going to execute the to-dos. Now, example, to create, we want to focus on speed and using a familiar pattern to create them and also to organize them. We also want to nudge the user so that they are reusing the to-dos instead of creating new ones all the time. Now here's what we prioritize on mobile. The user should be able to mark things as done very quickly. You also have to provide an ability to proceed when you can't do a step, so mark it as can be done. Now, to-dos in SB360 will be on work orders and estimates, so they will live on a detail page, on the edit modal, and also on the edit single accordion in the modal. So when you just want to focus on that, that's going to be available to you. Let's take a closer look at the experience of adding to-dos to a work order. And let's make an assumption that this system already has a few to-dos entered previously. So as the user starts typing, there's going to be a suggestion or drop down of some of the existing to-dos. And as you select them and press enter on the keyboard, a new item is going to get generated. And as you fill them out, more and more of them are added to this. We also have a few different controls. A pencil allows you to edit the field, mark it as required, or mark it as a can do. We also provide an ability to add new items. So for example, if you want to add something other than a checkbox, you may add a number, a single line, a multi-line, or an options list, the same exact way how you would add a custom field in our current setup. Or a new thing is a group. So when you add a group, we give you a new item called a new group, and this helps to keep things organized and tidy. You can also add new things, like for example, new checkboxes, and grow this list in the same path. So as you click it and as you pick it up, it gives you a place where you're dropping them. If you pick up a group, we might even mention how many things you're actually carrying with the group, and you can drop it here or here. And that's how you would start creating your to-dos. Another thing we should consider is where to put all the to-dos. Currently, we have a customer information, the work order information, products and services, and we can add to-dos here. And I kind of made a mock-up of what it would look like if you had quite a long list of all kinds of to-dos, followed by a schedule and note. Now, to better understand these micro interactions, how they would work, I could also recommend that if you want to take a look at this app called Todoist, they have a very similar micro interaction pattern. So for example, if you start typing the item and then press enter, what happens, new item is created, and so forth. As you click on enter key on your keyboard, more and more things get added. And as you can see, a very similar pattern that allows you to move some things. And groups can also be reordered. Okay, and let's take a look how this would work on the mobile app for the field technician. So on iOS, when you're looking at your to-do list, you can simply check off things that are done. Here we can see something that's marked as cannot be done, and some of the different types of fields. So here's an option that you have to select, a multi-line box with a description, a single line box with a description, and so forth. And one of the patterns that we would like to use if you needed to make some edits to this step is a very common micro interaction in many different apps nowadays, where you can just take this item and slide it over and exposes more functionality. So in our case, you would slide over and you would get into the edit screen of this step. And here you can edit the description on this checkbox. So on Android, we're also prioritizing native patterns, and it would actually take a lot of effort for our engineer to implement the swipe method. So his recommendation was to use meatballs, where you simply like on edit you evoke all these pencils, and then you can simply click on a pencil and make edits to that step. And once you save it, it goes back to the same screen.